Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and we're back once again with our Best of the Rest series. In this video I'll be talking about most of the rest of the black cards spoiled in Oath of the Gatewatch, not covered individually. If you enjoy our Best of the Rest series and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Essence Depleter, great name, is 3 mana for a 2/3 Eldrazi drone with Devoid. You can pay 1 of anything and 1 colorless, and target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Holy crap! I mean, I know colorless isn't supposed to be easy to get a lot of, but we've seen some cards to contradict that. If you get enough sources, even just 2, that 4-point life swing per turn is devastating. A 3 mana 2/3 isn't even that bad in and of itself. This is going to be bonkers in any type of life gain black-white strategy. Even without that, who cares? It doesn't even tap for the ability. Huge limited pickup if you have the colorless mana to do it. Havoc Sower is 4 mana for a 3/3 Eldrazi drone with Devoid. You can pay 1 of anything and 1 colorless, and it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Come on, seriously? Another one of these? Again, doesn't require any other cost, so you can just spam it if you have enough colorless mana. 4 mana 3/3, that becomes a 6 mana 5/4, that becomes an 8 mana 7/5. That mana isn't all at once, mind you. This is a dangerous card, much like the one before it. Colorless mana is starting to scare me. Kozilek Shrieker is 3 mana for a 3/2 Eldrazi drone with Devoid. You can pay 1 colorless and it gets +1/+0 and gains Menace until end of turn. You know it won't be this difficult to get colorless mana. Black Devoid creatures are crazy, absolutely crazy. You produce colorless mana, your deck becomes supercharged. This is stupid, it's so much value. Kozilek's Translator is 5 mana for a 3/5 Eldrazi drone with Devoid. You can pay 1 life and add 1 colorless to your mana pool. Activate this ability only once each turn. Finally, an ability that has some kind of actual restriction. The Translator does enable each one of the creatures we just looked at, but at least this time it can only enable 1 of them at a time. That's something, right? Oblivion Strike is 4 mana for a sorcery with Devoid. Exile target creature. Black is so good. It's that simple. Black is just good. Oblivion Strike is solid, removal unlimited, and even though it's sorcery speed, you'll play the heck out of it. At common too, the brutality. Sky Scourer is 2 mana for a 1/2 Eldrazi drone with Devoid and flying. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So we're looking at a flying Kozilek Sentinel. I can get behind that. The lower toughness balancing the fact that it has flying. I think this is a solid limited pick, and much like the Sentinel, will be taken often, probably as early as a mid-pack pick. Who knows though, it could be better than that if you can reliably trigger it. Evasion's good stuff. Slaughter Drone is 2 mana for a 2/2 Eldrazi drone with Devoid. You can pay 1 colorless and it gains Death Touch until end of turn. This is the kind of colorless ability I like. One that you can't stack over and over again, makes sense. A 2/2 for 2 with a nice ability if you can generate the mana. Perfectly balanced card, if only I didn't hate Death Touch down to my very core. Unnatural Endurance is 1 black mana for an instant with Devoid. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, regenerate it. And strict upgrade to Boon of Erebos. You no longer lose 2 life, your creature isn't going to die, it's even bigger than before, great card for limited, could see standard play if that black-red Eldrazi aggro deck is going to be a thing. It might not seem like much, but oftentimes Regenerate really messes with an opponent's plan, especially if they aren't exiling anything. Strong, fast, cheap card. Visions of Brutality is 2 mana for an enchant creature aura. Enchanted creature can't block. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, its controller loses that much life. Wow. So this is what a black pacifism looks like. I think it's great. Friggin' amazing for limited play. Essentially, they can't attack or block unless they're getting some amazing trigger from attacking. You want to put this on something gigantic to really deter opponents from doing anything. I love this card. Early pack pick for sure. Witness the End is 4 mana for a sorcery with Devoid. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand and loses 2 life. I know what you're thinking. Hand attack isn't great and limited, but think about this. The format is most likely going to be a little slower than normal with a lot of players wanting to ramp it to gigantic Eldrazi. Sure, there will be those who draft the super fast deck, but most people aren't going to do that. Witness the End is an arguably better Purge the Profane, which in this case is a good thing. When they're down to their last 2 cards, enable that Ingest. Could end the game in your favor. Corpse Churn is 2 mana for an instant. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Say hello to the latest Delve Enabler at instant speed. This can put 4 cards into your yard for 2 mana. Add instant speed, that's bonkers. Also works great with the new Goblin Dark Dwellers. Also, Shadows over Innistrad will assuredly have graveyard shenanigans going on, this can go there. Think Grizzly Salvage, but not as good, but still decent. Gonna be interesting if this sees play. Grasp of Darkness is a 10 out of 10 reprint. First pickable and limited forever and ever. Probably why it's bumped up to an uncommon this time around. Great card, all the removal, pick it all the time, easy peasy. Next card. Tar Snare is 3 mana for an instant. Target creature gets -3/-2 until end of turn. More removal is great, especially instant speed. This is the spell version of Weight of the Underworld. I think the coolest part though, it references Creeping Tar Pit from original Zendikar block. I mean, come on, it reduces the power and toughness by the same amount. That's pretty sweet. Again, limited, it's removal, you're gonna play this. Untamed Hunger is 3 mana for an enchant creature aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and has menace. If this were 2 mana, I'd be jumping for joy, but what's happening here is that Wizards is taking Unholy Strength and adding Menace for an additional 2 mana. Now, Pseudo Evasion is pretty cool and definitely powerful, I'm just not sure it's this powerful. Remember Madcap skills? Yeah, this is not Madcap skills. Vampire Envoy is 3 mana for a 1/4 Vampire Cleric ally with flying. Whenever it becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. Oh hey, we finally got a creature meant for Cohort. Let's take a look at this side by side with another spoiler, Zulaport Chain Mage. 4 mana for a 4/2 Human Shaman ally with Cohort. Tap it, and an untapped ally you control and target opponent loses 2 life. Alright, so we have a 3 mana 1/4 and a 4 mana 4/2, and if you tap them both, you get 1 life and your opponent loses 2 life. Anyone else disturbingly tired just from hearing me say that? Seriously, I have nothing against Cohort in theory, but it's so clunky, even with a card that's meant to tap. I don't know, at best. While Black did end on a weird note, I have to say we're looking at some quality creatures, especially devoid creatures that utilize colorless mana. Some really strong stuff going on here. Let me know in the comments if you like Black and what you would change if you don't like it. Tune in the rest of this week for some big announcements, the rest of our Best of the Rest series, and of course our pre-release guide. So much hype. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Oath of the Gatewatch spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source, I'm Wedge, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.